netgear aircard 790S promises pocket-sized 300 Mbps LTE that can replace your home Wi-Fi. Either we've reached carrier-grade internet in your pocket, or we're buying a 2015 relic with modern-day headaches. On paper, it's LTE Cat6 with carrier aggregation, dual-band 802.11 AC Wi-Fi for up to 15 devices, a touchscreen, TS9 antenna ports, and an 11-hour battery. Sounds criminally generous for the price, right? But here's the thing, specs age, networks evolve, and not all variants support the bands you actually need in 2026. I spent 10 days testing and unlocked 790S across 2 carriers and 3 locations to see if this thing still holds up. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 10 days of testing. Here's what the 790S claims to do in 2026. Turn any SIM into fast, reliable LTE internet you can share, no carrier drama, no fuss. Key promises I keep seeing. Up to 300 Mbps LTE, Cat6 speeds with carrier aggregation. Stable dual-band Wi-Fi for 15 devices and snappy touchscreen control. All-day battery life and quick charging. External antenna support for rural weak signal boosts. Sounds solid, right? Pretty bold claims for a device launched years ago, but here's where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim 300 Mbps. What you actually get is highly variable and often a fraction of that. Here's why. 300 Mbps requires two 20 MHz LTE channels, high-order modulation, and the right band combos. Many towers today are split, congested, or use bands the 790S variant you bought doesn't even support. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. If your tower only offers a single 10 or 15 MHz channel your variant can use, you're capped well under 100 Mbps before overhead. In my testing in a mid-density area with good signal, I saw 2885 Mbps down and 1025 Mbps up, with pings in the 30-60 ms range. Fast enough for streaming and work, but nowhere near the headline number. They claim wide band support. Reality, this depends heavily on the specific regional 790S you buy. The Telstra-leaning variants miss some North American favorites like band 66 or 71, while US market units can lack bands used internationally. If your carrier relies on bands the 790S doesn't do, the hotspot either won't connect well or it'll camp on a fallback band with poor performance. That's not switching, that's expensive confusion. Evidence. Pop your SIM in, see good bars but bad throughput, classic mismatch. I confirmed this by swapping to a tower with known band 7 and immediately saw speeds jump. In band 5 areas it crawled. They claim all-day battery. Reality. You're likely buying old stock or used units with tired cells. The battery is around 29-30 mAh, fine when new, but age plus heat equals sag. With 2 laptops and a phone connected, 5 GHz Wi-Fi enabled and screen timeouts default, I averaged 6-7 hours. Light use at 2.4 GHz pushed near 9 hours. Not awful, but not the promised 11 for most scenarios. And it charges over micro USB, which feels prehistoric and slow compared to modern USB-C. They claim easy travel and broad compatibility. Reality, some carriers whitelist hotspots and may push provisioning quirks. The 790S is usually fine on open BYOD carriers, but I had to tinker with APNs on one SIM to get proper LTE data. Also, it uses a micro SIM, so you'll need a good nano to micro adapter if you're swapping from a modern phone. Get that wrong and you risk jamming the slot. They tout external antennas for rural boosts. Reality. The TS9 ports work and can help, but only if you buy a decent MIMO antenna and your tower actually supports the target bands. I tested with a directional panel and gained a 15 dB RSRP improvement in a fringe zone, taking speeds from unusable to workable. Without antennas, it struggled indoors. But wait, there's more. Security and software. You're getting WPA2, not WPA3, and firmware updates are practically frozen in time. I didn't hit any known vulnerabilities in my testing, but let's be real here, this is out-of-maintenance gear. The touchscreen works, but it's laggy compared to modern devices. The web UI is basic and fine for APNs, guest Wi-Fi, and band preferences, just don't expect modern Co-S or VPN tricks. Speed and band support. The 790S shines when it can aggregate 2 healthy LTE channels your carrier actually deploys. In the right spot, I hit Mbps down, which is respectable for LTE. In congested urban zones or on unsupported bands, speeds fell to 10-20 Mbps. Here's what nobody tells you: the real value hinges on your local bands. If your carrier relies on band 71 or 66 and your 790S variant can't touch them, performance will feel stuck in 2016. Battery life. With a fresh battery, you might see 8-10 hours mixed use. With typical aged cells, expect 5-7. Screen on time and 5 GHz Wi-Fi reduce runtime, and micro USB charging at under 10 W means slow top-ups. If you can source a new OEM battery, it helps, but factor the cost. Build in ports: sturdy enough plastic shell, removable battery, 2 TS9 antenna ports for MIMO micro USB charging. No Ethernet pass-through, no USB-C tethering speeds. The TS9 connectors are small. Use a pigtail that's not junk or you'll wear them out. The unit gets warm under sustained load but didn't thermal throttle in my tests. Software and ease of use. The 2.4-inch touchscreen is handy for quick checks, but it's not buttery. The web dashboard gives you data counters, SMS for some carriers, APN control, band preferences, and guest Wi-Fi. No WPA3, no modern parental controls. What the marketing doesn't mention: firmware support is effectively sunset, so you're living with whatever features it shipped with. That said, it's stable once configured. User experiences: scraping multiple forums and retailer reviews, patterns pop up. People praise reliability when bands match and knock battery longevity and aging screens. A few mention swollen batteries on very old units, so buy from a seller that guarantees a fresh cell. Verdict: buy with caution. If you can grab a clean, unlocked 790S under roughly $8,100, your carrier's bands align, and you're okay with micro USB and older security, it's a solid backup hotspot or travel router. Pros: dependable LTE when bands match, Wi-Fi for many devices, removable battery, external antenna support. Cons: aging hardware, limited band coverage by variant, spotty battery life on old cells, no WPA3, slow charging. If the price climbs above $150 or you need guaranteed modern band support and WPA3, save your money for a newer LTE A Pro or 5G hotspot like the Nighthawk M6 series. For the right buyer, the 790S still works. For everyone else, it's tech roulette. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Got questions about band compatibility in your area? Drop a comment with your carrier and city, and I'll try to help. Next up, I'm testing a budget 5G hotspot to see if it actually beats LTE in the real world. Stay savvy, stay skeptical, and I'll see you in the next one.